Hi and welcome to Homo Ludens, the channel history and board games for this surprise and unusual stream where we're going to do a quick preview of a game that's currently on Kickstarter called Moonlight Brewers. That's the old box. And I know that I said that this is a channel on history and board games. It's not technically a historical board game, but I guess brewing has a long history, and it's my channel, so I do whatever I want. So that's the way it's going to be. But the reason I wanted to have you, Alex, is mostly because I really like the company that you have and what you do. And for context, Yeast Games, that is publishing Moonlight Brewers, was the publisher behind Which Side Are You On, which was a game about the history of labor movement in New York in the early 20th century. That was really, really cool. We have a stream about that. So if you wish to see it, I really recommend. A very cool game. So yeah, that's really nice. And also have Gian Maria with us. Gian Maria, who's been on the show a couple of times you were a finalist for the Cuba Libre competition.
Yes, for Vijayanagara too.
You were a finalist for Vijayanagara, but you were not finalist for the Red Flag over Paris competition, which was disappointing.
No.
But I mean, yeah, you cannot be finalist in all the competitions that we're hosting.
Plus,
yeah.
I was in the I think it was a teaching video we had of Which Side Are You On? I think we
were already together then. Yeah, exactly. And you were here as I would say a board game journalist because you were, yes because you are contributing to one of the biggest board game magazine, online magazine in France at least. So that makes sense. I don't know if it's a secret or not, but
no, it's not especially a secret. No, it's okay. It's okay to tell it.
Good, great. But thanks for being here, and Alex, thanks for coming back again. So the idea is that because the game is currently on Kickstarter, I was curious about talking about it. What was the game about? What was the idea behind the game, and all that stuff, and then maybe have a quick overview of what the game looks like. So we'll have a look on TTS. The thing that I want to show, though, because I think for me, it's one of the core features of the game is the pawns. And the characters are actually those beer caps where you put a sticker on top. And I think this is awesome, very thematic. Even though I think that at that time they didn't use beer caps yet, so slightly ahistorical. But I don't know what's the historical setting of the game, but I think it might be a bit early for beer caps, but still pretty awesome. So you have one like this for each of the characters, which I think is interesting because as you can see on the box, everything is produced in the southwest of France, and I guess you had to be creative with the way you produce the game, but we can talk about this later. But I think this was a very neat idea. But you. Yeah, what can you tell us about Moonlight Brewers? What is it about? Yeah.
First, I think that thank you to invite me again. And I would like to say that historian can have fun too. That's why we made Moonlight Brewers.
This is very true. Yeah, this is a very good point.
So, as a historian having fun, I made this game, and no, the caps are not in the. It's anachronic, of course, but I couldn't put bigger wood part. It would have been a disaster.
Yeah, it would have been, I guess, pretty expensive and heavy, but this works pretty well.
And it's great because we succeed to have a partnership or collaboration with a brewery in Paris. This is not Southwest, but they are collecting the caps from everywhere in France, and they are sending back to recycling. But this time we are stealing some. Will send all the caps for us for free. So we can dispatch it again in all the games we will produce. So it's all recycling caps.
So it's upcycling even, like you're taking a cap and actually making something greater with it. A board game.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, is a beer better than a board game? That's up to debate, but I would say it's upcycling. That's fine for now. But so yeah, what is the game about? So it's about brewing beer, but what is the idea behind it?
The idea is that we are brewing beer only in the full moon night, because the monks are hunting werewolves and other were cats, were rabbits, to put them in the beer because they have good taste and make better infusion. So you are in the point is you are in a monastery. You have to scramble around and to pick up some resources like hope, wood, or things like that, and also hunt werewolves. It's like this game is not very like the other, very serious. It's a little a small disaster. You will be hunting down enemies, fighting with fellow monks, putting shit in the beer of the others, and trying to do your best to have something tasty. So it's like a joyful chaos in the middle of somewhere in the middle of the wood.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Did you? That's gonna be a trick question. I'm trying at an angle to come back to history. Did you had any interest in the history of brewing beer overall that inspired you, or where did this came from? Not
No,
at all.
in this one, no. I made some beer in the garage of a friend. I was bad, so I noticed that we need a lot of rigor.
Yeah.
It's in the game or things like that. It's more like experience of my life, and we put this idea in our world of we created for the LARP. We are making LARP also in the medieval fantastic world. So we it's more picking like this, and
Okay, so
it's more to show to people that I can do something else than serious historical cooperative games.
Yeah, and that's I think that's actually pretty great. But there is I think there is a very like the history of brewing is actually quite interesting. It's one of the first things that we started doing as humans with grains. Like we made like it's the same kind of the same elements like crushed grains, yeast, water. So in a way, it's very linked to the history of civilization. So for me, beer is a highly historical object. So I think I think it fits.
You have one in which side? Yeah, do you have the beer halle? The beer halle, it's because the German at that time were making reunions in the beer halle, drinking beer and planning revolution with Johann Most and all the stuff in New York. And there is a thesis on internet. It's like I don't remember exactly the name, but it's a beer and revolution, and it's about the German making this reunion. So that's why I put the beer hall in which side. Also, our name is Yeast Games, Les Jeux de la Levure, Yeast Games. So it's all connected. And when you make a thesis, you drink beer, of course, because it's long to make a thesis.
There is something radical about beer, both beer brewing and beer drinking. So I think that's fair. But yeah, I can see that. Oh, I see Mike and Chris. Thanks for joining the chat. But yeah, so what type of game you would say it is? Is it kind of a dungeon crawler? Is it kind of a worker placement? Is it kind of a resource management kind of game? How would you define it?
It's a collection resource, of course, but scrambling around. But you also have luck. You have to launch dice to fight with the other, to hunt down variables, or to take some resources. So you will launch dice. But we were not happy with the pure luck stuff, so we add some mechanisms like alcohol. You can drink beer. Each time you drink a beer, your monk drink a beer, you have a +1 on your dice, and you put your level of alcohol one up. And each time you have to launch a dice to see if you resist to the amount of alcohol you drink. If not, you fall down, you make noise, and more you make noise, less you're efficient, and more the variables attacks you. So that's what we put. So it's like you can think that it's just luck, just random, but no, you have to pick up equipment to have bonus, and you have to drink beer to not fail your dice, and after you have to bet a lot. I drink, I don't drink. It's like, so it's like a bastard game, I think. It's not...
The being drunk mechanic feels like a mechanic from a Lovecraft game with madness. So you have yes, so there is maybe a connection here.
But is this a game about brewing beer or about drinking beer? Because I hear
I hear a lot about drinking. Yeah,
the monk is brewing and drinking, but you can all of course replace the mechanism as you want at home. But we are not happy with people making drinking games just putting little in them. Or you drink or you play with the rules, but.
Fair enough. We don't want to push alcohol consumption. On this show. It's family friendly. Good, but I guess we can probably have a look at the components and what the game looks like, and maybe for you, Alex, to give us an overview of how the game works, what are the different components, and all that stuff.
So I will first. This is the prototype. So the illustration are almost done, but the colorization is not. Our Vianney Carvalho, our illustrator, is making all the color, putting all the color with hand, with color pencil. So everything it takes time. But on the campaign, you can see some
progress.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not colorized yet, but it will in the final.
It's on the process. Yeah, it's on the process. Yeah.
Is there something already colorized in the material you're showing?
Sorry?
Is there something that is already colorized in the material you are showing on TTS? Or
no. Maybe nothing is colorized now. That's just for the prototype to have some idea. But even the dark part of the tiles will not be like that.
Okay. It looks nice already.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There is a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. So you can see there is some part in the middle. You have the monastery.
Yeah, and feel free to zoom in or highlight pieces.
It's it's my video. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Here you have the monastery. Each tile represents a place in the monastery, and each tile has a special action, like collecting water, collecting hop, or drawing cards. So the monks will have the possibility to walk, to move inside, and activate the actions. To activate the actions, you have each one of us of the monks have a personal board.
Player board. Yeah.
Player board. Sorry, where you can have 4 actions, and you will only make one and pass the turn. 1, 1, 1. You cannot make twice the same action. So you have 2 special actions. The action will activate something on the board. For example, on the left, you will walk a little, move from 1 square, 1 tile, and after you will perform the action, but at the minimum. For example, have water with 1 point or draw 1 card. When you have water with 1 point, it means that you have 1 taste point. It's the victory point. So at the end, you will have to make the addition of all the taste points you have from all the ingredients. You can see on the right, you have the recipe. So you have to clean the what's the name? Clean your cuve. Put water, some wood, malt, wood, etc. So the second action where you activate the board is the applicate action. You will have to launch a dice, and that's the luck. So if you make 4 to 10, you have to check. Your water, for example, will be from 2 taste points to 5, or you will draw more cards. And here is the moment that you can use your alcohol. For example, you make a 1. Well, it's bad. It's not what I need. So you make a 3. That's perfect. For example, the 3, you see, you need a 4, so you can drink a beer, and you have 4. You take your water, you put it on the recipe, and your alcohol is up. You need to make a test. You need to make more. If not, you are drunk, and so on.
Oh, so there's this push your luck mechanism where you can actually you can drink alcohol as a dice roll modifier, but then it has a negative effect that you can become drunk. So once is fine, 2 is becoming tricky, and then it gets worse and worse.
And okay. It's luck also with this.
Yeah, but so the idea is that your main statement is that the more you drink beer, the more efficient you are doing something up until you get you fall on the floor. That's the
exactly. So you are efficient, and at one point you have drank too much, and so you will fall down more. So and you will lose time. That's the point.
Yeah, fair enough.
And moreover, more you act or you are drunk, you will have the noise. And when the noise is at the top, werewolf or something else. Here is a drunk dog, but can also a squirrel attacks you. The combat is simple. I launch a dice. The squirrel launch a dice, and you see who win with the bonus and all the stuff. So everything is quick. You don't have to think a lot. It's bam bam, and the action is quick. And to end, you have 2 other. That's what I call the non-action, because you cannot activate something on the tile. On the left, you move 2 tiles, 3 tiles making noise, or 1 tiles, and you can fight with other monks.
Okay.
Everybody make noise because there is the monks fighting and the monks cheering. And on the right, you pass your turn, so you get another dice for the next test.
Yeah.
You lower your alcohol of 2, or you lower your noise. So you can control all this with patience. And the problem is that you don't have patience because the game is fast.
What is triggering the end of the game?
Yeah, that's this big werewolf that you can see here. Can I?
Yeah.
No, I see. I can move here. So there is difference, but here is the werewolf is the big one. He will attack the monastery at the end. So each time someone makes a 6, each time someone is wounded with a fight or drunk, each time someone is attacked by a were animal, you
increase the track.
Yeah. You increase the track. For example, if we are 3 players, when you are at 6, it ends this first phase. You go to the second and you put it back. At the end of the 4th, it's the end of the game. The werewolf attack everyone, and that's it.
Okay, and I can see that there are quite a lot of character cards on the site. So I guess you're going to be able to recruit different people with different capabilities to help you in your quest.
You choose the one you want. That's the point. But you will have it for all the game. But they all have special abilities. Yes. And to enhance your character, you will have to draw cards, like in the Forge, like chainmail, or you can have some boots. There's a lot of things.
Salut Olivier.
So just
the illustrations are great. I really like them. Actually, I like them in black and white. I don't know what you think, Gian Maria, but I think they.
We had to make Sorry, Jean Maria.
Yes, it probably depends on the background of the material, but I do agree that with this kind of brown background, the black and white illustrations look really great.
Yeah, they look pretty cool.
We have made we have asked our community, and they decide they opt for the hand pencil.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So
and the second was the black and white.
So you have your character, so it's a bit asymmetric because all the characters can do different things. Then you have equipment that help you along the way. So I guess it evolves from there. And the question I have is, so you said it's almost like a party game. It's pretty simple. It goes pretty fast. How long would you say a game lasts?
Yeah, that's why I also said it's a bastard game, because it's pretty simple, but it's 15 minutes per player.
Okay.
So it's not party game like we are used, but we tried the expression, but it's not very good, a very good one, but party game for expert or something like that, or for all players.
Yeah, it does have a role player feel to it, and I guess that if you want to make it longer and add a bit of narrative to it, you could too. So that's but yeah, 15 minutes per player doesn't sound too bad. Like a 3-player game is less than an hour. That's actually pretty pretty nice. I have maybe a couple of questions on the
just something. Yeah, you have one colorized.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
that's
the
very nice.
background will not be the same. But just to add to the joyful chaos, like you see, you can put trap on the monastery, you can send grenades to the other, make them drunk, and there's a lot of things you can do. So that's why it's asymmetric, and it evolves more asymmetric because of what you will find.
Okay.
It feels like a bit of a dude on a map. Well, it's caps on a map, but that also works. And in the layout of the monastery, I guess, is randomized, or is it always the tiles are displayed the same way?
Well, that's the official one, but you can do as you want, like choose yours, you feel better, or random it. Make it random, you can.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's not
there is a comment from Deb, which is a good point. Like the theme is supposed to be monks playing, but you actually have woman characters in the game. So are they monks, or are they? So how did you circumvent the issue of representation? Yeah,
and I had some research, and the Trappist are the only order with women.
Okay, so there is historical research in there. So you did.
I did. That's not what I call historical research. It was like a fast read.
Yeah. But so
I joke. There is also in Maghreb. You have community of Trappist in Maghreb historically.
So in North Africa also you had Trappist, and I didn't know that the Trappist order accepted women. That's quite unusual. Is there?
I think it's not mixed, but it's or Trappist woman, monks woman, or Trappist men.
Yeah, but still, is there a reason for that specific order to?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. I didn't. Sorry.
I'm disappointed, Alex. I expected a full presentation on the history of the Trappist movement. So
I missed, and I work about anarchism and socialism.
Yeah, monks are kind of anarchist in a way. Not really.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a commune. They form a sort of commune. Yeah. So that's actually, but that's quite interesting. Yeah, Jean Maria, you were about to ask a question.
Yes, because the game it isn't a cooperative game. It's a competitive game.
Full competitive.
Yeah.
Is there some kind of actions that you could take and that could advantage other players? Like, I don't know, fighting a werewolf creature, or fighting the werewolf together with our players, in order to have some kind of semi-cooperative feeling, or just nothing at all?
No, because I think that at the end it's more about doing less bad beer than the others. than making the best one.
Okay.
Because everything will go fast. When people will make maybe the first game slowly, letting the other make the recipe and all that. And when they will understand fully the rules and the possibilities, one will start, and after you cannot stop. It's like trying to damage the other and not let them make what they want. It's more about that.
Okay. So there isn't a scenario where the werewolf would defeat all players, or
so so there is two things. There is a campaign of 14 scenarios that people can buy, but for now it's only in beta and in French. For €1 they can have it, so people can translate it with what they want if they want it. And you are building together your monastery, but only one can be the at the end of the 14 scenario can be the best brewer.
Okay.
So you have that, and we have imagined, but maybe in the future it's like the beer is mine and the beer is to everyone, and making some social struggle in the brewery. But yeah, it's like no, we are not in that, and
that's
we have
a future expansion. But I like the idea that Genvara mentioned of having something that is semi-co-op, where you have a common enemy, but then you're still competing amongst each other. That might be super interesting.
That will be our next game. Which side pirate? Which side Caraïbe?
Okay. But we talk about the future games. Now, before we talk about the future games, the thing that I wanted to ask, because we mentioned it briefly in the beginning when we're talking about those character caps. So the idea behind Yeast Games is that you have a very different way of making board games than most companies out there, if at all. Actually, I think you're the only company who does it this way. Can you explain it a bit more? What's the idea behind the way you produce games and why you do it like this?
Well, the way is that when we create a game, we are thinking of what we know we can do near, what we can do with our way of production. Our goal is to control the means of production, but we don't control them yet. But little by little, I hope we will succeed one day. But now we are only working with the company almost only in 50 kilometers around our assembly site. And so we are working, printing everything. We are printing things in a printing company at 10 kilometers from home. The box are 15 kilometers. The small adhesive, it's 20 kilometers in another way. And we are trying to see what we can do in our place, in our community. I don't know how to say. And we are asking them to make it, and we assemble it, we take it, we gather it, and we make the assembly at hand. So all the cards will be all together. We will trier.
We'll sort the pieces.
We will sort all the pieces with our hand, working, and because we want to show also for many reasons. One is we want to show what it is to create a game, to make a game. It's not like you have an idea, you go to see an editor, he make the final idea and send it, and someday, poof, with magic, you have another game, a new game. So that's not what we want to do. So it's because of many things. That first is ecological concern. We think that local production is the best one, even if it's not always perfect. It's better than going to the other part of the world and make a great game about ecology and with some label. So we are not in this way. We are making the things here.
Yeah.
Second reason is because of the workers. We don't want to work with people. We don't want to sustain
alienate people from their work. Yes.
Yeah, that's so we alienate ourselves because it's really hard work to sort the games. And what we need to know is that there is always someone sorting the game for you.
Yeah.
It's us or it's Chinese women sit on the table doing that 50 hours a day. There is always someone sorting the game for you.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to remind people of the actual human labor that comes behind it. Most of the companies do their production in China, and it's true that this distance makes it feel like there is a kind of a capitalism magic. Like the product comes in, and you don't remember that there is actually people who were working on a factory line to make this game possible. I think that's really interesting. Did you ever consider, and you probably have done it, but also to make a bit of content regarding the process of making the game, how it's happening on your side, showing people working, sorting things out, and all of this?
We try, but we have learned many things, and communication is not what we have. We are not good in communication, so we tried. There is some two young people who have made the Turn of France with the camera, making some small documentary about everyone. Made something about us, l'humain d'abord, human first. Le Ludistrotter, it was nice from them to show what we are doing. We make some reel, but it's really disorganized.
Disorganized. Yeah.
It's like
so I guess I need to plan a trip. So that's what you're saying. And actually, I don't think you're living that far away from where my family is living. So my family lives in Pau.
We have 1 hour.
So I think it's 1 hour by car. There's maybe one thing that we haven't said in the same direction of the caps is that, and I was wondering if it was going to be also in the final game. So the tiles for the monastery are actually beer coasters. So I thought it was actually pretty clever. Once again, very thematic and a very clever use of unusual components to actually make a board game. So would it be also coasters in the final product?
We don't not make a thick cards, so we do and we find this way. So it will be like this.
And I think and I don't know what you think, Giannaria, but this limitation of trying to do something locally forces you as a company to find different ways to make components. And I think it's really interesting, and in a kind of way, something that I would like to see more, because I think in this game it is extremely relevant, like beer caps for characters, coasters for tiles, and I think the other things are a bit more classic in the sense that you have woodcut, like laser printed.
But that's a new thing for us. We will buy one. It's our first new machine.
Oh, so this is actually owning the means of production in action. This is actually made by Yeast Production. That's really awesome. And do you manage to? I guess economically it must be quite tricky. So how do you manage to be kind of cost effective, or is it a lot more?
Giannaria?
That was my question too, actually.
So do you manage to actually be cost effective, or is it a lot more expensive than doing it in China? I guess it is, but yeah.
Can you precise just to say that in French, cost effective?
En termes de coût, est-ce que c'est efficace ou est-ce que ça coûte beaucoup plus cher en fait?
Okay. So for the occasion we had the idea to ask China for some devis for knowing the price of the game.
Yeah.
With
an estimate.
Estimation, the same game, it's the same game. If they send it here with the all the tax and all the stuff, it's €5 the game, one game, and our production is 17.
Okay, So it,
17.
yeah,
17.
yeah. So it is significantly
Yes.
higher.
And
So
we know that we saw the curves, and the curves are better in China. It's very fast, like
yeah, yeah,
is you see it because the curves the if the curve fall fast is because the cost is the technical price, the material, if it's and not the workers,
yeah.
because if not you still have the workers to pay. So and the game is 35 at the end, so we made the same that is the price that other editor would have made. I think it's like
Yeah.
estimation, of course, we don't know exactly what they do, but
Mm,
it's like 6-7 times more expensive than the production price
yeah.
in best case for us in our point of view. So we made 35, and for us it's just 2 times more expensive than the price. So we're obliged to cut. No distribution, no communication price, nothing. Just
Okay. And
brutal.
and is it so? And do you think it's like financially viable to cut down those costs, do it locally, and that like does it work economically, or is it really tight?
Yeah, fully. I made the murder party. That's the point. No, it's like well, which side is not a good example because the production was 25 euro per box, so 22,
Oh,
23.
yeah.
So but we were in the point that we didn't know how to do. We didn't know how to make optimization of what we know. So it was the first one. So it was more for reputation.
Yeah.
Bonnie and Clyde, a big game in a small box, it was better economically. But with something like Bonnie and Clyde, we need to sell 2,000 games, I think, in 1-2 years, not more.
Okay.
And we are far from that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And and with Moonlight, we thought we could make it more expensive, but people are not following. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Because there is a pressure. Yeah. Go ahead, Jean Maria.
Yes, I had a question about retailers. Are retailers accepting your game as it is, or do they want, some plastic wrap around it just to certify that the game is
well,
went out from a factory or something like that?
as I don't put it like that. I think that the selection it's complicated, but it's more easy. It's like some shop tell you that if you are not BlackRock, Yellow, or Asmodee, they don't take you. Some other, it's a lower level, tell you that no, it's like a prototype or print and play. No, they need it everything more traditional, the standard, the Chinese standard or Polish standard. So
Yeah.
after there is a lot of shop afraid because they don't know and they have to invest the money, and they we are new on the thing, so they listen, they want to try, but they don't. That's the majority. And we have some shop generally we have meet them. They have we had a meeting in the festival where we
Yeah.
go to see them, we discuss, we show the material, and sometimes they accept. There is some exception, of course. Locally, our friend from always is taking all our games, and he have no problem to sell them. That's the point. And there is a shop in Belgium, and that's my error because I don't remember the name now.
Shameful, Alex.
Answer or
Shameful.
something like that. They are backing. They are backer from which side? They were following us, and when they opened their shop, they directly buy us games.
Yeah.
So
But
because of
so it means that, yeah, even distribution has to be grassroots. Like you have to go in contact with people, convince them, and everything. So in kind of a way, it's almost like political activism too. Like you need to knock
yeah,
on doors, and it's a very different approach of making games, which I think is super inspiring. Would you ever consider making the games like in Poland or in China if you had if you were sure that there were like a like an economical setting that would make sure that the workers are properly rewarded or stuff like this, or you think it's unlikely?
Will not be me. I don't know. When I was younger, like 25, something like that, I was the RSA, and I was going like I prefer to go in the street, ask for money, than going to be exploited in the factory. My point is that I saw my family working in the factory always. All my family were in the factory, and I don't think that it's good for people. So I will not do that to others. I don't want to collaborate with this. My problem is that people say, yeah, it's in reality and all that. Yeah, we have 2 children, so we have to find a way. But the way will not be exploitation of the other. It's just more working, I think.
And in reality, you succeed. I mean, you've released a few games already. Which side was for me like I think an amazing game. So in reality, you actually managed to do those things. So it is possible. It is harder for sure, but I think it's super interesting. But yeah, I love the ethos around it, having a worker friendly and also environmentally friendly way to make games. I think it's something that I guess that at least environmentally friendly is something that becomes quite popular in the discussion in the board gaming field. And I guess, Gian-Maria, you've seen it too with games like Earthbound Ranger and everything. I don't know how much of this is actually greenwashing and how much of it is actually true, but I think it is a concern. But still, and it's not surprising, it's something that we've seen a lot, is that people like to talk about ecology. They almost never talk about workers. So I think it's really interesting that we also have this angle in the way you're producing your games. I think it's for me, at least to my knowledge, is completely unique. So I don't know, Gian-Maria, if you know of other examples of company who are that concerned with the way their games are made.
Not as far as that. There are some small companies, I don't know, like Hollandspiele, for example, that but they are just a small company. I don't know if they are so concerned as you about ecological consequences of the production or worker conditions. I can tell about that.
Yeah. So Hollandspiele, I think Hollandspiele is Hollandspiele is a good example because they do print on demand. So I think I don't know how. Yeah, so print on demand is kind of a different way of producing games. So I think it's and I know that Amabel Holland is also sorting wooden pieces by herself in each of the boxes. So I think there are some similarities with the way Yeast is actually doing the games, but I don't think there is not necessarily the same level of ecological concern. But still, yeah, it's true that there are some. I didn't think about Hollandspiele, but that's a good American example of something that tries to go in that direction, and that also has some pretty radical themes for its game, and explores workers' movements. I think there was a game about Flint, like the strikes in Flint, that was released earlier this year. So there is some similarities there. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, I think it's awesome. So I'm sorry that we didn't have time to actually do a teach and play of this game, but with Alex, we said between now and the game shipping, we'll actually record a teach and play on TTS so we can show how the game plays and people can see what's coming up next. I mean, how it works. But just maybe one last question before we end the game. I was wondering, so what are the future issues? So what are your upcoming projects for Yeast Games?
Well, we have to. We have understand that we also need to make familiar games. We can more small games. So we are making
more family friendly. Yeah,
family friendly. So we are making 1 card games to go to the flip. Hopefully, we can succeed this. To sell more, maybe this can help us, but it will always be with the same working and ecological conditions. But The next one big project we are working on is Witchside Caraïbes, because now Witchside is not a game, only a game. It will be a series of games working about and talking about resistance to capitalism. So we are taking the pirate, one part of the pirate, as and working about the resistance and how they take control of the ship, who were the means of production of colonialism. And that's we are reading some American anarchist historian about the subject and working about that.
Okay, that actually, I would be very keen on covering that. So as soon as you're getting close, because you're so bad at communication, Alex, I would be happy to support you on communicating on that game. And I think
Great.
it would be really interesting to put it in perspective with another game on the same topic that is going to be released later next year, I think, Pax Hispanica. That is a game by Iron Game Design that takes the Pax system and applies it to pirates, which I think is going to be having a very different perspective on the topic. So I think it would be interesting to compare the two approaches and the way the history is actually being told in the two different games. So yeah, if we can support you in any way, let us know. Gian Maria and I would be happy to play, happy to interview. And there is one question that was really important, asking for Moonlight Brewers if there was a gluten-free variant expansion for the game, or
you can make gluten-free beer. I know it exists. Yeah.
It does actually. It does. It doesn't taste great, at least the ones that I've tried. But it is possible, apparently. But I don't think that he was serious. So that's really fine.
Because you don't eat it, so.
Yeah, but it was thanks a lot for taking the time talking about the game. So the campaign ends tomorrow, right? If I remember
on Sunday.
Oh, okay. It ends on Sunday. I've added the link in the description. So if you want to have a quick look, buy a game that is made by hand with love in the southwest of France by people who care about the way the games are made. Please do. If you like beer, I think it's a great game. I think it's actually quite fun in the way that it's presenting itself. And yeah, I hope you'll have some success in this project. And for the pirate one, I'll be here. Just let me know. Maybe we can plan better, because it was a bit tricky this time. But if we plan in advance, that would be great. And maybe actually I could manage to drop by where you live to see how the game is being produced. Yeah, that would be really
great.
Awesome. Great.
And for the pirate game, if you want, we can make some. Can you show some progression too? Because
we could show some progression, and I think it would be nice also to have maybe a chat specifically about the history of pirates and the kind of like the historical content that you're pushing in the game. So I think there is a lot of different things that we can do, and I'm pretty sure we'll have quite a few people interested in pirates history in the Homo Ludens community. Cool. But yeah, Gian Maria, you're back, but you're muted. But it was nice to have you on. Alex, thanks again for being here. Cheers, everyone, for that was in the chat. That was great. And see you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.